In my last video, I ranked every Super Bowl ring from worst to best. We looked at some amazing rings like the Philadelphia Eagles and some not so great rings like the Baltimore Ravens. But to find the worst championship ring of all time, we have to look outside of the NFL and at its little brother, the NBA. Specifically, the NBA in 1947, when it was called the Basketball Association of America. The first ever BAA champions were the Philadelphia Warriors, who would later move to California and become the Golden State Warriors. Now, teams today have much more money and technology to make bigger and more complex rings than they did in 1947, so you'd expect the Warriors' first ring to be relatively simple. But what the hell is this? Again, I know that this was 1947, but this ring looks like it's from the goddamn Stone Ages. Just look at the New York Yankees ring from 1947. It looks like a masterpiece compared to this. Okay, so the New York Yankees probably had more money in 1947 than the Philadelphia Warriors. But even if we compare it to the Chicago Cardinals ring from the same year, it's still incredibly inferior. The lettering on this ring looks like it was done with a knife. And just look at that. Phila Warriors? I know that's what it says on their jerseys, but here it just looks like they didn't know how to spell Philadelphia. And side designs? What are those? The only good thing I can say about this ring is that it's sort of shaped like a basketball, which I guess is kind of creative. However, I can't even give it points for originality because the Detroit Tigers already had this idea 12 years earlier in 1935, when they made the front of their ring look like a baseball. Yeah, I know it's not a basketball, but it's the same general idea. Also, for some reason when the 2019 Toronto Raptors ring was revealed, a lot of people thought that this ring was more valuable than this ring just because it was older, which is simply not true. A ring gains value from the materials used to make it, the fame of the player it belonged to, and the fame of the championship. A ring like this is bottom of the barrel in all three of these categories, while a ring that belonged to, say, Michael Jordan would be much more valuable. While I don't know the exact value of the 1947 Warriors ring since one has never been sold at an auction, after comparing it to similar rings, I've estimated this ring to be worth between $5,000 and $20,000. Which for a championship ring is pretty much worthless. For comparison, the 2019 Toronto Raptors rings are each valued at over $150,000, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's 1987 Lakers ring is worth over $398,000. But the very worst part about this ring is that the Philadelphia Warriors apparently really liked this design, and they reused it 13 years later on their next ring. What were they thinking?